Hello folks and welcome to Linux for Seniors. So today's distribution, I want to actually give you this in a virtual machine for Gen 2. It's a distribution that really isn't for the faint of heart, as one would say, and I'm going to click on that right now. So I'm going to change to the mouse pointer I have installed. So I installed this through a different method, which I'll show here in a minute. But I'm just going to give you a quick overview and tour of this thing. It's essentially a plasma desktop. And let me go ahead and click this thing here. The whole thing is going to be ran here out of a virtual machine. Now, I'll give you some background on Gen 2. Gen 2 you can find, if you go through DistroWatch, I'm just going to give you a path if you subscribe to Linux for Seniors. And I didn't make mention of that in the beginning of this video, but my video is definitely going to be more than 2 minutes, so I encourage that you subscribe. Target audience, yes, is seniors, but anybody is obviously welcome to watch. This particular distribution is terminal centric, meaning that you're going to be using a lot of terminal commands to install software, for instance, using Emerge or Portage for a package manager. But more importantly, the installation is, even if you download the live copy, there's not an installer. You'll have to do it manually. You are the installer. So as far as me recommending that for new users, no. But I will give you a tour of this nonetheless. So this is fairly a standard Plasma desktop. I'll show you the software that comes installed here. This is Gen 2 Linux 2.9. I am using virtual hardware. So I'll show you a little bit about this mouse pointer, where it's stored and how you can actually put it into your system without even using any kind of file manager. I'm sorry, not file manager, but software manager, and or even go into the submenus, because you can do this actually using your file manager. But I'm first going to actually walk through the menus just to let you see the software. So we have the little cute cow over here in the corner. So this is Gen 2. Again, I'm running this in a virtual machine, so the responses are a little slow. So instead of using all application, I'll just start with development, and I'll scroll down the list and let you see that. I'm trying not to open too many things, otherwise the video will get even more lengthier than over 2 minutes. Actually, it won't be 2 minutes, it'll be more. So if you haven't subscribed yet, you may want to go take a look at some of my videos. So if you're not familiar with GNU Image Manipulation Program, another name for that is GIMP. It's like Photoshop. That is also available for, I believe, your Microsoft Windows and your Macs. But you can find this in just about any Linux distribution. So let me continue, let you see what else is installed in there. Kind of like this guy, the little cow down there. Sorry, didn't mean to make this jump around. So, anyways, let's go back up to where was I? Development. No, yes, no, yes. Okay, somewhere along the line. Oh, it was graphics. Pardon me. I wonder, I kind of missed that. It's that XDVI is what I was looking at. It's kind of like a lion-looking face. Anyways, internet. Let's go with the next category. Let me click it. So I had an interesting experience with this live copy. This changed from Chromium to Falcon. I thought that was quite interesting. But more importantly, it has Chromium. Falcon is a web browser, and there's also down the list is Firefox. Starting at the top again, I'm going to scroll down slowly. Multimedia, click in there. So you have K3B as a disk burning utility. When I used to have, most of my computers don't have any CD-ROMs or disk burning. I have that as a portable USB type, but I really just use mostly USB stick and hard drives and all the stuff that I do. So anyways, but I did use that many years ago, and it was a decent piece of software. VLC looks like it comes installed here natively, and You got some other players. Now Office, I did open this briefly, so I don't need to bother opening this up for you, but first I'll start at the top and then keep scrolling down. So LibreOffice comes installed here on this live copy, and it's actually 7.4. It's the newer one. All right, so we'll leave it at that. Settings, I'm going to open that up in a second. And then System. So it has HTOP installed. You know, you can run top out of terminal for a process monitor. And System Monitor, and then Utilities. Joe's own editor. And there's Kate also for a text editor. And Vim, that's an old one. All right, and so let me open up the file manager. If you have ever used any of the Plasma desktops, it's Dolphin. And let that thing load. So go to, well, I don't know if I need to click it open, but you can see it's Dolphin right here. So what I did was to install this mouse pointer. Normally you would go to your settings. Let me go up to settings for a second. I'll leave this box open and let this thing load here, or try to let it load. It's a little slow. So if you're installing themes, under Appearance is where your pointers are, under Cursors. So normally, this is what you get for this particular distribution for standard cursors, not this one. You can install them from a file. You can get them, get new cursors online, providing you're connected to the internet. I know in the past, the Plasma desktops used to have a problem with this theme right here. It wouldn't install properly because it didn't uncompress properly. That's why I like to actually install them manually. I install mine as a folder, so all I need to do is delete the folder and that's gone out of here. I can also install others rather quickly. So how is this all done? It's all done through a folder. So what I did was I went to gnome-look.org. If you go to Linux for Seniors and subscribe, go to the About section, scroll down to the bottom. There'll be some links for you. Gnome-look.org is one of those links. It's a non-profit website. If you click it, there's about 700 plus mouse themes in there, and also other kind of icon themes. So I downloaded Radioactive as a compressed file. Then I manually uncompressed it and threw it into this weird looking folder. When you uncompress it, it just uncompresses with an index and a cursor theme. So I renamed this folder Test Pointer on purpose. I wanted to let you see this. So how do I display hidden files? Well, just like with just about any Linux distribution, Control H to show hidden. Okay. Hamburger menu, show hidden, Control H. Okay. So I manually created a .icons folder. Right click, create folder. Anything that starts with a period is a hidden folder. So I'm going to open this up for you and let you see it's called Test Pointer. It's this cursor file here. If I were to eliminate this folder, it will change. Let me actually do this manually. Let me first close this. But I wanted to let you see that this is in here, right? So I'm going to close this on purpose. Then I'm going to go to the system settings and open up that theme and change the mouse pointer to something different, but at the same time letting you see where the file's at. So under Appearance, I think they call it Radioactive because it's yellow and it does that funky thing there that you just saw. So anyways, we have, once this opens, that's the theme. So what I'm going to do is switch to this one here. And normally anytime you switch mouse themes, I do also encourage that you log in and log out. However, with this live copy, I don't want to lose my data. So anyways, now that I've changed to something different, I want you to let you see that that is still in here. So what I'm going to do is open up that file manager, Dolphin. And I'm going to delete that file on purpose. So I'm going to go up to the home folder, right click on this thing, and move to trash. So it's going to dump that file, correct? So it's not in here anymore. It's in my trash can. You agree? There it is. So I got some other compressed files in here. So now I'm going to go to my settings. Wait till it pulls. It's a little on the slow side, I know. Just bear with it. Hopefully I'm not losing you. Here's cursors. You will see that the radioactive cursor is missing. It's not here anymore. So basically, when I install mouse pointers in this fashion, you can do some easy maintenance. You don't have to deal with this area at all for installing these things. So let me return it. That's the other benefit of doing it through your file manager. So hopefully that the person that was asking me to actually delve into this thing, I believe he said his grandfather works with Gen 2. This may be a tip that you may have never seen. Maybe. Right click, restore. Close. Go back. Again, I don't know if that gentleman is operating a Plasma desktop either. As we all know, depending on the distribution, you can put in different desktops. However, with most Linux distributions, what I'm showing here today works. Most distributions. Going back to my cursors. Oh, look, it still held this remnants of this old mouse pointer, by the way. Radioactive is back. And as I pointed out earlier, the reason that you normally see the remnants of your old pointer a lot of times is because you haven't either logged in and logged out or rebooted. Anytime you're doing what I'm doing here, altering mouse pointers, I always advocate that you log out and log back in. If not, reboot to hold the setting properly. Okay, and this will be especially true with after you install. I'm not saying you do that on a live copy. Live copy, you'll lose all your data. As soon as I turn my computer, as soon as I exit this interface, all this data disappears. Because I'm running this out of a virtual machine in a live copy mode, meaning it's not installed. But I wanted to give you the experience of installing this mouse pointer and just giving you some details regarding what is in this Plasma desktop for this distribution. Again, I'm going to click this open, and I could use terminal to give you information like INXI, but I'm not. I'm just going to use the scroll bar and click on the system. So this again, once it pulls up, is Gen 2 Linux 2.9. Again, I really don't recommend that for brand new users, especially if they're brand new to Linux. You need some more experience and become very comfortable with terminal. And again, it doesn't offer you an installer. Even this live, if you download their live image, it does not have an installer. You can find their installation manual if you are wanting to do this. Just plan on several hours because you got to do a lot of legwork to get it installed. But once it's installed, it should run fairly well. Again, I'm running this in a virtual machine. That's why it's running slow. But I've also booted this up on a separate console using the same live image, and it was fairly zippy. Now I'm going to close that box and say, hopefully you have subscribed to Linux for Seniors. My library is growing. There's lots of things that I have on my YouTube site. So I'm going to hit that mouse cursor and minimize this for a second. I just got weird wallpaper here, but I'm going to take you on a tour of my own site here using my regular interface and basically point out to the fact that when my library starts growing, I have several videos in here so far, right? So as this grows to like a couple of hundred, my previous YouTube site I had over 450. This little guy here comes in handy. This is a search feature and it's only available in your standard web browsers. Standard web browsers. I'm saying that twice. If you have a YouTube application on your mobile device, normally you only have this search feature, and that searches all of YouTube, not my internal channel. All of my videos are key indexed. They're like meta tags, and you can actually click and search by keywords. I also have a community tab in here. Throw information once in a while. You can take out your cell phone and scan that right now. And that way you'll have a link on it on your mobile device, Linux for Seniors. Here's the links I mentioned earlier. This mouse pointer can be found if you go through gnome-look.org. I'm going to actually go there. There are 790 of these puppies. It's got a search feature. This one's called Azenis, the one I'm holding in my hand. That's the file that's for a variable size one, and these are fixed, 32 and 48, depending on your screen resolution. I'm going to change this up. You may find this cursor familiar. I was just using it. That cursor there. It only has one file. And it's that one. And they normally get installed, guess where? In your home folder.icons for your single users. System-wide applications usually go into the user share icon folder. That's for all users. You do need root permissions most of the time with this. This is a lot easier. If you feel that you want to use that either icon inside, if you're running a Plasma desktop, for instance, so be it. But just be aware that one of those icons, like Radioactive, doesn't install properly or didn't in the past. It is a lot easier dealing with folders. But that is all up to you. So again, this is the Plasma desktop for Gen 2. On that note, I will say thank you for watching, folks. Take care. Peace out.